is Aiden versus Stefan, and Stefan is over on Tenpai, and we do have a very interesting brew here, which is a Ragnaraika Traptrix deck, which did go first, and looking to see if they can put a board together after their first Sarah did have to deal with a Ghost Orb on activation.
There's a couple different lines here. Obviously, we're going into the Sarah and then immediately linking off the Sarah and the Diana into a Jasmine. Jasmine will get us access into Lone Fire, which or Ragnaraika engine, depending on what we want.
Ooh, giving it a bit of a read. Of course, usually a card we'd see in Rika.
I feel like every time a Jasmine hits the board, it always gets picked up.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we've seen that in so many YCSs as well. Yeah. Just picking up any of the
plant link cards.
Yeah, just
really.
Anything. I was going to specifically reference the like Aroma Mages, like as like that is what you're talking about. Like no, but it is Aroma or it's
Rika or Sun Avalon, all of them.
Yeah, all of them. I mean, we're going to see it again once we see a Ragnaraika card come out as well.
Exactly. And let me read that continuous spell.
yeah. Let's check what this one means. And interestingly, we don't see that yet. So either unfortunately hasn't drawn anything from Ragnaraika, but it's just a link. I mean, they have lots of link access, right?
I'm pretty sure I saw the Ragnaraika continuous spell in their hand, or it's a Traptrix Golden, one of the two. But Jasmine summoning out the level 1 over here. Level 1 is going to be able to add 2 Ragnaraika cards from their deck to hand and then banish 1 card from their hand.
Ooh, gotta love it. There's something that's just great about adding 2 cards. We saw it previously from Voices as well, but it's just as a player, it's like, oh, I get to search 2? This is insane.
Special summoning the level 3 by putting the banished reptile back into the deck.
For anyone who doesn't know this this deck, it's a bit of a combination of insects, plants, and reptiles, which are going to work quite nicely with the Traptrix being a predominant amount of them being plants. I think the XYs are insects or some of their cards.
All of the good Traptrix monsters are plants, ironically.
Yeah. So a lot of value off of the Ragnaraikas here.
Going into the link you can summon back a Ragnaraika from the graveyard. And then that can summon back as well.
Ooh, thinking about going further. And then here we have it again, that looking up at the ceiling, just seeing if there's anything posted up there to get your next steps.
Seeing the line, as one might say.
Yeah, seeing the line in the sky.
The link 3 is being able to banish a insect, reptile, or plant from the graveyard to search a Ragnaraika trap as well.
And here we go, digging a little further.
Banishing the mantis. Clearly don't value the mantis. How disrespectful.
Interesting thing here, I'm pretty sure I saw 3 Ash Blossoms in the deck, so we don't really have any interruption in hand. Unless there is a triple tax, but I feel like that would have been used by now.
It looks like it's just a Ghost Ogre and just the Ragnaraika continuous spell.
Yeah, but I mean, coming back to Tenpai here, that is what this is up against. We can safely assume that it isn't known by the Ragnaraika player here that they are against Tenpai. And really here, I feel Tenpai probably has quite a good look against this currently. I mean, we'll have to see how far they go and extend with this.
Important thing to note is all the Ragnaraika link monsters can put a tri-type. I'm going to call them tri-types from now on. There's plant, insect, and reptile.
Oh, yeah.
To the bottom of the deck to special summon themselves, which is what he did with the link 2 earlier to go into this Bengal Lancer, and then immediately linking this up for most likely the Ragnaraika link 4. Yep. And then Bengal Lancer can banish up to its link rating from the graveyard to special summon itself back. So just banishing 2 link 2s.
Okay, we're just going to go a little bit further here, but I mean, from what I saw, that looked like it was one of the last, if not the last link monster in the extra deck. I saw a lot of XZs and a Mud Dragon. So
there is one more, which is the link 5. I think that he might be playing. If we can grab the deck list soon, I'll be able to confirm. But that link 5 effectively says that when an extra deck monster is special summoned, you can target up to 2 cards in the field, destroy them, which is very, very good against Tenpai as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get rid of some of these cards before they're able to really do much, especially if it's something that they're trying to get value out of. If they don't have the Sungun summoning, you're pretty much free to go when they try and synchro as well.
Stefan now drawing a card for turn. Looks like he drew a Sangan Kaiman, which is the quick play spell that allows him to, during the main phase, add or special summon add a Tenpai monster from his deck to hand, or special summon a Tenpai monster from his hand, and during the battle phase you can apply both decks. Standby main, starting off with a Pot of Prosperity. This makes it slightly harder for Tenpai to kill, especially through interruption, but if you can find board breakers that deal with the opponent's oppressive board, then it becomes worthwhile.
I think this could be interesting. With this Prosperity, only banishing 3 here means you are losing half of the damage that you could deal for just to search the top 3.
I think because your hand is already so good, right? So you just want to find cards that are, because your hand is good, and you know you can probably OTK. So you go Prosperity Banish 3. You try and find either more engine to play through slightly more interruption, or another board breaker to just turn off something.
Opting for the Imperm, so we're probably going to see this come out before anything else is played. Resolution, this will go to the grave.
If I was the Tenpai player, I would probably try and Imperm the Bengal answer.
That does seem correct.
Just because now the only interaction left, for known interaction at least left for Aiden, is the Hunter Trap, the set Ragnaraika Trap, which is effectively going to destroy 2 monsters, as well as the Holotail bringing back the Sarah.
Okay.
Which, when a trap is activated, he'll be able to special summon a Traptrix monster from deck, which can either be Pudika or Holotail. Not Holotail, what's the Momelo?
Momelo, there we go. The one that's when it gets summoned.
Special summoned, you can destroy a spell trap the opponent's control, which is very relevant for Sangan summoning, turning off the...
If you can get rid of that Sangan summoning, that's huge for your play.
Yes.
But then again, I mean, Tenpai can just get another one, right? I feel like whenever I play against Tenpai, it's just, how do they have 5 Sangan summonings in their hand? Like, that's what it feels like. But definitely a good choice. I do love that. And we also know that there's the Gravedigger's Trap Hole as well.
Yes, you're right. Sorry.
Which I think can also be quite relevant here as soon as we have Green Dragon. I'm not going to go by names. Fadra. To me, they all sound so similar. It's such a tongue twister to get through.
It's Chandra, which is the red one, Hydra, which is the white one, and then Fadra, which is the green one. There you go.
Okay, I'm going to forget it in the next 20 seconds, but I appreciate it regardless. I'm sure our viewers do as well. But something like that, I mean, I feel that's going to be very relevant. I do, however, like this Kashtira package that we're seeing here. And it's something, I mean, Stefanel used to play a lot of Kashtira in the past as well. Very well known.
Very well known for Kashtira and Centurion, actually.
Absolutely. So being able to get this out the way, we haven't really seen...
It was the normal summon of Rise Heart as well. So it's not locked into XYZ monsters for the rest of the turn.
That's exceptionally important. Exceptionally important. Of course, knowledge is known now that he is on Tenpai because of the Prosperity.
Yes.
But there
we go into battle phase. We activate Sangan Summoning. Or Sangan Kaiman, my bad.
And as far as we know, there's no Ash Blossoms in hand, so this can't be stopped from a hand trap.
No, the only card left in hand is a Ghost Ogre.
True, yeah. I mean,
which could be very impactful.
That could be very good, actually.
Because this probably wants to summon Chandra. Chandra probably wants to summon Pydra. And then Pydra will probably want to set the Sangan summoning from deck to enable a Trident Dragon OTK.
Oh, wow.
But then the Trident Dragon can just be met with a Ghost Ogre.
Absolutely. And then you're kind of just stuck. You don't really have much more to play with. You've used your Synchro. You've used your materials. Ooh. You can see that the hand is itching on that Ghost Ogre right now.
Unfortunately, Ghost Ogre cannot be activated during the damage step.
So it has to be from the battle phase.
So really the only thing that this Ghost Ogre can interact with is either the Synchro monsters or, yeah, just really the Synchro monsters.
And I think just clarification to my understanding for anyone watching that isn't too well known about the steps. Damage step, correct me if I'm wrong, it's only effects that are that adjust attack and defense of cards.
It is trigger effects, effects that manipulate attack and defense, and cards or effects that negate activations.
Okay, great. Yeah. So then, I mean, Ghost Ogre is here to destroy things. I don't think that falls within those.
No, unfortunately not. Giving a quick little read to Chandra here. When a monster battles during a damage step, you can special summon one Tenpai monster from your or Fire Dragon monster, level 4 lower Fire Dragon monster
from your deck. Oh, that's so relevant. I mean, I feel like if there isn't enough other Fire Dragon monsters, there's going to be enough of them soon for you to start playing with.
Ooh, we're going for Fardra line, which is actually relevant because we're under Prosperity. So we'll have to see how Stefan gets enough damage to both play through the Gravedigger's Trap Hole, which is relevant because the Bind Drag you on, it prevents it from coming back, as well as try and play through that stinky Ghost Ogre in the hand.
Just clarification, Prosperity, is it only halving damage dealt to players, not to monsters as well?
Players.
Interesting. So looks like Stefan does want to push a little bit further here. Ooh, clarification on this card. And this is where it's very important to get to know these new releases. I mean, I feel like already this Ragnaraika Traptrix brew has already pushed quite far. We're around 5 now. He's actually sitting, I mean, I think this was what, like table 6, so in the top 12 players, which is pretty good, especially for a brew coming in.
It looks like we're considering a Biden Draggy online right now. I think Stefan, what went through Stefan now's head is he was thinking, okay, I attack with this Chandra. I don't want my Chandra to be destroyed by battle, so I'm going to try and summon at least a Fardra so that they're competent, because remember, Fardra says your Fire Dragon monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. It'll be interesting to see what line he takes and how he takes it.
Yeah, I mean, on the bright side, we don't just have Seals Pass right now, which is always good. But of course, going second, this is what you want to expect from the Tenpai player. But definitely some complications here. I feel like actually, here we go. Here's the Ghost Ogre. Looks like that was on activation of the Pydra.
I don't think this is a legal activation.
Was this during the damage step?
Yes, because
Let's see.
Chandra attacks, it summons the... Oh no, I'm being mistaken, sorry.
Okay.
So we're activating the Fardra or the Chandra, I can't tell which because I don't have communication with the table right now, to synchro summon during the battle phase. And then we're chaining Ghost Ogre to that. But the problem is that you can just chain the other one.
True, yeah. I mean, once you've done this, you've already...
So all of the Tenpai dragons, they all have quick effect in the battle phase to synchro summon, and they all want once per turn. It looks like we're just going for Black Rose. We want to remove potential follow-up because we're putting the Ragnaraika Traptrix player on 0 cards. Whereas we still have Fardra follow-up for next turn and a Prosperity. I think Stefan now realized, hey, maybe I can't OTK here, maybe it's a little dangerous. Let me just Black Rose, get into a bit of a grind game.
And I think that's not the ideal situation for Tenpai, but it's not an impossible situation either.
No, it really isn't, especially when your opponent is on 0 cards.
True, yeah. Whatever we have on the turn being passed, it's just a draw that we're pretty much starting off with. And Holitea?
The synchro summon of Black Rose and no effect. Very interesting. Maybe we're missing something. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I don't fully know the Ragnaraika cards at every point to give a good idea of what's happening. I think once these players start siding, we can do a bit of research with the stream. Just kind of go through a few of these because this might give us a bit more context. But just with that being done now, I don't think Holitea in hand really gives you that much value. I mean, you have to discard to special summon it, don't you?
Send a normal trap from your hand to graveyard or discard. It's one of the two.
So I mean, at most, we're probably going to see it being set unless there's some graveyard shenanigans we can do with Ragnaraika, which they're full of them. So, okay, level 1.
On summon effect, add 2 cards, 2 Ragnaraika cards from your deck to your hand, and then banish 1 card from hand. Also important to note that if one of the Ragnaraikas is destroyed by a battle or card effect, the trap card triggers to destroy another card the Tenpai player controls.
That's
an
pretty
extra
cool.
layer of protection.
So if one side of this causes if you start popping them their things, they at least have a bit of like a thorns effect where they get to get some damage or some destruction back at your opponent. So definitely quite the resilient deck that it seems like a resilient deck from what we're experiencing here.
Maybe I'm mistaken. It summons back in negated, possibly. But we're gonna activate the link 3, bottoming the level 1 to summon itself back.
Okay, banishing the trap to pop, it seems.
Yes.
And this must be the battle phase to get some damage in. Okay, adjustments coming in now. Thanks to our judges for manning the life here, making it a bit easier than us both having to do it. And just clarifying the damage coming through now. Okay.
And Stefan now
Oh, scooping it up.
scoops it up.
Ooh, I thought this was a main phase 2 that was going to be happening here with him linking something off, but no, it looks like we're just going to be scooping it here. So Stefanel are not able to get the first game through, so Aiden going up 1 game here with the Ragnarika build, as he's named himself on his deck list. here, we have seen quite a lot of developments from the Traptrix player playing over in the Tenpai player's turn instead. So Stefan now over here summoning the level 3, and then kind of just seeing what else can happen. The Politeia came out, Sarah triggered, and we have the Mamelio, which was used to pop the field spell.
Right. So Pydra fetched another Sangan summoning, and then we chained the Politeia to the Pydra, and then that obviously triggered the Sarah, which summoned the Mamelo, and the Mamelo could destroy, mandatory effect by the way, to destroy their Sangan summoning. Now we're just left with Princess and the Pydra. However, this is still a lot of pressure, especially now that we have the Chandra to special summon, which can threaten a Transcendent Dragon, which shuts off all effects during the battle phase.
Yeah, I think from this, I mean, being able to go to the third turn as Tenpai going first, I feel like you have a very, very strong crackback here that we can come through with. I mean, we do still have 2 traps set, but I'm not too sure if the traps that Traptrix is generally playing actually has enough power to really push through.
Looks like we're activating a Ragnaraika trap. We get to destroy 1 card because we only control insects. Oh, sorry, we only control plant link monsters up to the amount of different types of plant link and plant, reptile, and insect link monsters we control, which we only control the Sarah, which is a plant. And then in battle phase, we're going to activate Sangan Kaiman.
Gonna be able to get a summon out.
Probably going to summon out a Chandra or a Fadra, also works. And then Fadra effect summons out the Chandra from the graveyard.
Yeah, there's still a lot of legs here for the Tenpai player.
Princess is going to attack the Sarah. During damage step, Chandra triggers to summon from the deck.
Ooh, taking out all 3. Oh no, just actually picking up. So Stefanel evens it out 1-1 now. So Ragnaraika Traptrix going to be see if they can bring it back going first in game 3.
Absolutely, the all-important game 3, as we say. A lot can happen here. We're really just expecting either the Ragnaraika player to say, hey, I want to go first, or making the Stefan, now the Tenpai player, go first. Again, try and see, hey, maybe can I OTK through this? Hey, maybe can I interrupt you enough towards where your non-engine doesn't matter and my Seal's Pass is like just not effective against you.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you are still staring down a Tenpai deck. Probably going second here.
Stefan now not even siding, just handing his deck.
Just handing his deck over, going like, I've got this. I mean, I just won the last one. I know I can do this.
Heavily predicting that his opponent is going to just make him go first again.
I mean, if that's the option here, I guess Tenpai doesn't have to side to go second. They're inherently strong with it. So siding into it first, sure they might.
You can try and do some mind games here where you make the Tenpai player go second, and you just start a new combo off. Especially because we saw the Ragnaraika player side deck. So it just depends on what the mind games are here. Let's hope and see.
Okay, keen to see these players' hands as they open up, and there's set rotation and Sangan summoning. I think that is a Hydra.
I think
it's Ash. Oh gosh,
the Ragnaraika player opted to go first, meaning that Stefan Now's side deck choices are now sort of irrelevant. Starting off with normal summon Merlo, we also see a D barrier in their hand. The Merlo being hit with Ash Blossom, arguably one of the weaker points to Ash for Traptrix. Would much rather save that Ash for something like Sarah summon from deck, activating Traptrix Garden, and then just setting D barrier in Gravedigger's Trap Hole and passing the turn.
Yeah, that D barrier might be very, very scary for Stefan to push through. And if we actually just look at Stefan's side again quickly, just want to check if He has the D-Bear cross-out package. I don't think he's playing them. And no, I don't see anything of the sort. So if that D-Bear does come down, I'm not sure there's much that can really be done against it.
Ironically, a problem for this Tenpai player would be, how do I out the Traptrix monsters? Because the first time they've destroyed by battle, because of Traptrix Garden, they wouldn't be.
Oh, true.
And now we're activating set rotation and just giving our opponent the Rave Soap, outing the Traptrix Garden, which makes the board significantly easier to...
Yeah, I do like that play. It kind of shows how set rotation can do some really solid work as a card.
Anyway, activating Sangan Summoning and then using its effect to search a Tenpai monster and then subsequently discarding one on resolution, adding Pydra, which can fetch Sangan Summoning.
It's a summoning. It is coming to the field, so I guess it could be a summoning.
Yeah, it could be a summoning.
But at the end of the day, this does need to culminate into something strong and
Discarding a
call by. Which, I mean, what monster is that really going to target in this situation?
Well, it could be relevant because we know that the Traptrix player has trap cards set, right? So we would maybe the Ragnaraika player thinks, hey, I want to summon a Memelo from my deck and then try and pressure the Sangan Summoning, in which case callback could be relevant.
Yeah.
But I think it's much more likely, because of the D barrier, that what the Traptrix player ends up doing will be different. But I think that discarding Call by the Grave might be a little misstep. Anyway, activating Chandra to special summon because we control a Fire Dragon monster. Fire Dragon monsters we control are unaffected, but since Chandra is in your hand, it should be able to be negated by the Gravedigger's Trap Hole.
Alrighty. Yep, getting some work there and a little bit of burn damage as well.
It shouldn't really matter because our hand does consist of Sang and Kaiman, which would just lead into an OTK as well. But first, the Sarah is going to trigger.
Yeah, we'll be summoning a Traptrix monster from deck. It's Memelo again.
Memelo, as we spoke about, and then Memelo to destroy the Sangan Summoning.
Alrighty.
And then, of course, Sarah triggers again because the Traptrix monster's effect was activated to set any whole normal trap from your deck.
And also that's it. I mean, they can't activate it this turn, right? It doesn't have that clause.
Now we also see why he opted to discard the Call by the Grave.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had the... As of course you said, they always have more Sangan.
They always have more. It's one of those things. I mean, we've seen... I mean, it's 5. You've got 3 of them in your deck. You have the set rotation. You have the turf.
Exactly.
So,
and you have Prosperity, you know.
Yeah, you got Prosper to find some more as well. Yeah, Sangan Kaiman.
I cannot tell if this is in the battle phase or in the main phase. Because what we could also do is Sangan Kaiman just summon the Chandra from my hand.
I think this is interesting. The wording on it, I would just need a bit of clarification, but does it say that you have to special summon into the battle phase, or does it say that you can choose whether to add it?
So in every other step except the battle phase, you get to only apply one effect, which is either special summon from hand or add from deck to hand.
From deck to hand. Okay.
During the battle phase, you get to apply both sequentially.
Okay, fully understood. Okay, interesting.
So during the main phase, it either works as like a special summon from hand or a rota, and during the battle phase, it acts like an E-Telly almost.
Okay, awesome. So, I mean, it's hitting the field, so I'm pretty sure this is in the battle phase, which means that with that D-Bear being activated, Stefanel cannot go into his Link plays.
You can still do a lot here because the Chandra is going to summon a Fadra, and then you can go into Link plays in main phase 2 because you have 3 bodies now. We know what the set is. We have full knowledge except for the 1 card in hand.
Yeah, this will definitely be Stefan still getting a good lead, I would say. I mean, we're looking at a Memelo, a set Wraith Soft, which I don't feel is going to do anything. I mean, I guess it gives you monsters the buff for the elements, right?
Yes,
that they said to. But I mean, most of these are going to be Earth monsters anyways, if not all of them. We have 1 set card, which I know the image, but I can't recall the name of it.
Traptrix Trapple Nightmare.
There we go.
Or Trapple Nightmare.
One of them. But I mean, Trap Hole and Traptrix can almost be interchanged. The way that they synergize so well with each other.
When a special summon monster activates its effect, you can negate that effect and then destroy that card.
But only usable next turn.
I'm going to go into Princess Reborn, Fadra effect to summon back.
Okay. We do have a life update just following us losing the camera and having to switch over our scene. Stefanel is at 6,000 health and Aiden is sitting at 5,500. So making it even easier for Tenpai to actually push through here.
We see an
But
activation of Ghost Spell chained by a crossout. Very relevant because otherwise we wouldn't have a lot of main phase 2 presence. Very crucial that this princess gets to resolve.
Yeah. And as much as I might not be dyslexic, I pretty much should be, because I did mention that Stefan does not have crossout designators, but he does actually have 2 in his deck. So that's 100% on me earlier. But I mean, utilizing it now to stop the Ghost Spell, let himself continue and push a bit further. With the princess on the board, I mean, there's a lot of players Stefan can kind of...
There is a lot. We do see that he is playing the Raging Phoenix, the Atlantis line. So what this effectively does is it's going to put a princess in the graveyard, which will trigger the Raging Phoenix and bring back the princess as well. So have tremendous follow-up on top of actually having interruption.
I think this means with just under 7 minutes on the clock for these players, we're going to have to see either a very quick turn from the Ragnaraika Traptrix player to try and make sure they can actually bring something out, and this draw is pretty much their tournament life on the line to a degree, because if they don't find a way to stop Stefanel and his Tenpai deck this turn, it's pretty much game over by the time that it goes back to Stefanel. The Atlantis effect happens, they both come back into the main monster zone.
Zones.
Oh, this draw, the way you just put it down there, does not spark a lot of confidence.
Oh, it looks like another trap card. Very unfortunate.
Wow. Yeah.
Just has to go end phase here. Cannot afford to go into the battle phase here.
Oh my.
Extreme follow-up from Stefanel as well. Only thing we really have to be careful of is maybe there's another set Gravedigger's Triple, which would be another 2,000 effect damage, which would put him at the risk of losing in time, but that really shouldn't be an issue. We're playing Tenpai, we can go battle phase.
Yeah, I definitely feel, I mean, these traps need things to happen to trigger. They're not things you can just flip up and get an effect.
Yeah.
Okay, the Holoteo though, that is a card.
A very real card, one might say.
A very, very real card. It is indeed in the 3D space that we occupy ourselves in.
Importantly, we can trigger the princess here as well, which would just be OTK.
Yeah.
Princess effect, we target our Chandra and we target the Holoteo, destroy, summons itself out, and then that will also trigger the Raging Phoenix since the fire monster was destroyed by card effect.
Ooh, there it comes.
And then also the Z Atlantis should be able to destroy that last back row there. Not that you want to activate it, because then you're at risk of your Z Atlantis.
Yeah. But I mean, from this right now, even if that does go through, I'm pretty sure the damage that's going to be put out.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything in the Ragnaraika Traptrix as a single card to draw. If let's just say that there is
no
a bit of mistake
provided he doesn't activate the Sea Atlantis, it should just be all she wrote.
Cool. Ooh, you can see Stefan just really wanting this win here, just itching for it. But of course, I mean, when you're in the situation, you're staring it down, you do want to see if there are any like obscure outs. Maybe there's something that
maybe you missed a little lock or something, but
yeah,
shakes hand,
shakes hand. There it goes. Okay, awesome.